It's your boy, Savi. So you want to start watching anime. You screwed up. You know what you're going to do is going to make you weep. So the question is, what are you going to watch? Maybe you're thinking Dragon Ball or One Piece. Take it from a guy who's been watching all his life. The only way to watch anime is however the fuck you want. So I'm going to be recommending anime to anyone that has an internet connection. I will not be recommending anything too crazy, but to give suggestions that have minimal commitment and not in the hundreds and hundreds of episodes. Most anime, but not all, start as manga. They can adapt it into anime later. An example of this being Dragon Ball, created by Akira Toriyama, published in Weekly Shonen Jump, has 4 core anime series. The original Dragon Ball originally aired in Japan from 1986 to 1989. It consisted of 153 episodes. It then received a sequel series that everyone knows and has merch everywhere. Dragon Ball Z aired from 1989 to 1996. It has 291 episodes. From 1996 to 1997, Dragon Ball GT, a follow-up to Z, was 64 episodes. Finally, to the most current series, Dragon Ball Super, ran from 2015 to 2018 for 131 episodes, with each episode running for about 22 minutes and doing some simple math for a grand total of 3,390 minutes, or roughly 60 hours of Dragon Ball to watch. This is not including Dragon Ball Kai, Dragon Ball Heroes, or the 20 plus movies and specials it has. So I know, it's a lot of fucking Dragon Ball to watch. This is something I don't recommend, or even starting out with, for how much fucking content there is. I've seen all the series, except Heroes, all the movies, special, multiple times, but this has been the span of my lifetime. If you decide it's too late not to watch and want to understand what the hype's about, do it. Here are a few tips. You don't need to watch any of the movies are just extra material. You can skip GT, but spoiler, Super Saiyan 4 is kinda hype. I don't recommend it, but you can skip the original Dragon Ball and just watch Dragon Ball Z, since that's what most people are looking for anyways. Also, Dragon Ball Kai is kind of an updated version of Dragon Ball Z, with a smaller episode list from 291 to 167. I really don't recommend watching Super unless you plan on watching Dragon Ball Z, since it expects you to know this universe and characters pretty well, so you're going to be confused for a while. Lastly, you can skip the first 2 arcs of Super, episode 1 to 27, and just watch 2 movies instead. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods and Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of F. The movies are made first and they explain everything you need to know in about 3 hours, then you can just start episode 28. Stuff like this, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, are something I will not be recommending since there's a shit ton of episodes to watch. There's nothing wrong with these shows, they just require a lot of time and commitment. These type of shows I recommend watching by seasons and taking breaks whenever possible, unless you're really into it. If all this overwhelms you and you're saying, what the fuck, this is way too much, or who the fuck has this much time to watch all this crap, don't worry, I'll be recommending stuff way more approachable and easier to watch. Before we begin, let's start with some key terms. Anime, what the hell is it? In Japan, it is just any animation overall, whether it comes from the US, UK, or Japan. But in English, it has become a term to reference animation that is produced in Japan. Sub and dub. Sub means listening in a foreign language, such as Japanese, that requires subtitles of your native language, such as English. Dub means listening in your native language.
You aren't strong enough to beat me.
Some shows get more than one dub, for example Dragon Ball Z being in Japanese, it's also English, German, and Spanish. Next, filler. Anime can have filler episodes and filler seasons. Filler in the context of anime does not move the plot forward and is usually of lower quality visually and narratively. An example of this are when television shows do clip episodes and doesn't really serve its purpose but just fill a time slot, so filler. Series such as Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach have filler episodes. But not all filler is bad, such as the driving episode of Dragon Ball Z where 2 world-destroying ex-enemies, Goku and my favorite, I'm Piccolo Rick, try and get their license and swag out. Like, why? For the fuck of it, I guess. In my opinion, these are basic terms you need to know to begin your slow descent into the anime madness. Now with that out of the way, what the fuck should I watch then? Basically, everything I'm going to be recommending will be either on Netflix, Hulu, or Crunchyroll. Or all the above. Mainly for accessibility. You can find these, of course, on those websites. Most of what I'm suggesting will introduce a lot of cliches, tropes, storylines, character archetypes, and common concepts in anime. This anime is probably the most beginner-friendly anime right now you can watch. It has a main character that's very goal-driven, strives to become stronger at any means necessary, a story that is not overwhelming and very easy to understand, and amazing animation to go with it. Demon Slayer tells the tragic story of siblings Tanjiro and Nezuko, whose family has been killed by demons, and Nezuko becoming one. Tanjiro now seeks strength to become a Demon Slayer to avenge his family. Again, the story is very easy to follow, the animation elevates it to another level, Tanjiro and company are very likable and entertaining, the opening captures the essence of the show, and the song is an absolute banger and something I play at the gym. A villain who's very threatening and gorgeous. Some might not like it, but I think overall it is very enjoyable and a modern anime that will help anyone start out. The subbed and dubbed are great, it is on Crunchyroll subbed, Netflix subbed and dubbed, 26 episodes. A second season is coming, and a movie that was just released in the making of this video. I just saw it, I highly recommend it if you like Demon Slayer. It's a good introduction to battle anime and introduces horror concepts as well. Next, do you like sports? Maybe you played a sport. Have you ever wanted to care about a sport you don't give a shit about? Like volleyball maybe? Haikyuu explores a spunky first-year Shoujo Hinata standing at 5'4" and wants to be like his idol, the little giant. Hinata goes from someone who can't play volleyball really well to helping his poorly received high school team Karasuno become a threat among their division. Unlike other anime where there's tons of fighting and otherworldly abilities, Haikyuu explores just average high school kids slowly learning to become a team and overcome the struggles of having stronger opponents. This anime makes you give a fuck about volleyball and the boys that play it. The plot isn't overly complicated, the show is very lighthearted and gives off similar vibes to movies like Mighty Ducks and Cool Runnings. It explains real-world volleyball techniques and the struggles of being a student athlete. Daichi and Okawa being some of my favorites for how strong of leaders they are and characters in my youth I would have strived to be. Haikyuu will help you get into more sports anime. Haikyuu has 50 episodes on Hulu and Netflix, both subbed and dubbed, with Crunchyroll up to date with 85 episodes. Now something that isn't targeted to boys and more about living life. MonthlyGirlsNozaki-Kun is a romantic comedy about high school student Sakura as she confesses her love for fellow oblivious classmate Nozuki. This leads to a misunderstanding that reveals him being the shoujo mangaka or comic writer for girls. Sakura now assists him with the manga in hopes he will notice her feelings. The shenanigans that cascade into are worth watching. Who doesn't love a good love story? The show doesn't have all those overpowered manly men looking to save the world, but just high school students trying to live their lives. It's very comedic and a good way to zone out and to vibe. This was the first anime my girlfriend and I really enjoyed together. If you want a feel-good slice of life anime, this is it. Monthly Girls Nozaki-Kun is only 12 episodes, so one of the shorter ones to watch. It is currently on Crunchyroll subbed and on Netflix subbed and dubbed. Something similar to Monthly Girls is Toradora. It tells a story of high school student Ryuji, who suffers from resting bitch face syndrome, and slowly builds a friendship with Taiga, who suffers from Cassidy's hands disorder. Taiga has a crush on Ryuji's best friend, and Ryuji has a crush on Taiga's best friend, and they try to help each other out. It might sound cliche at first, but eventually dives into parental neglect, struggles of a one-parent household, pressure to be something you're not, and learning to be independent. I just watched this recently, it's actually pretty good, and deep for how cute and harmless the anime comes off. Ryuji and Taiga are very relatable in a lot of ways, but there's a decent amount of melodrama and very soap opera moments. But these are minor things and otherwise a good show. 25 episodes on Netflix and Crunchyroll, both subbed and dubbed. Lightning Round. Devil's a part-timer, 13 episodes, only subbed, is on Hulu, is about a devil from another realm that works at McDonald's. Who wouldn't want to watch that? I know I said I wouldn't recommend anything in the hundreds of episodes, but My Hero Academia is only at 93, so it's a pass. It is literally about a world where everyone has X-Men abilities and the kid named Deku, who is born in a superpowered world, has no superpowers. It's on Hulu subbed and dubbed and on Crunchyroll subbed. Jujutsu Kaisen is a modern anime that is hard not to recommend for how good it is. I won't say much other than the opening song, which is the first song you hear in this video, and the ending song are fucking amazing. Gojo is bae. It's on HBO Max and Crunchyroll with 24 episodes. Cowboy Bebop is probably the only anime I will give a 10 out of 10 since I don't think giving scores to stuff is right, but Cowboy Bebop is that exception. It tells a story of a ragtag team of bounty hunters, or cowboys they call in the anime, that take jobs to survive in a futuristic world of 2071, with the main character Spike Spiegel being voiced by God's voice himself, Steve Bloom, who is also one of my favorite rap albums, Logic's The Incredible True Story. It is only on Hulu, subbed and dubbed, but watch it dubbed because of Steve Bloom. Last but not least, this anime is everything a beginner needs to watch. Outstanding creative fights, characters that feel human, a story that keeps the viewer engaged with comedic moments to balance out deep-rooted problems this world faces, a very, very likable cast, amazing animation. It is everything that all the anime I mentioned in this video are into one glorious piece of work with absolute bangers of songs. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood tells the story of two brothers, Ed and Al Elric, that lose their mother, but using alchemy perform a human transmutation to bring her back from the dead. In the process, Ed loses an arm and leg, without losing everything but his soul that is now trapped in the suit of armor. This pushes Ed and Al to start looking for ways to get their bodies back by joining the Steel military to look for the Philosopher's Stone, but in turn uncover government conspiracies. If that didn't hook you, I don't know what will at this point. Ling, Olivier Armstrong, Hawkeye, no not that Hawkeye, and Al being some of my favorite characters. The story is top notch, keeps the viewer on the edge of their seats, the voice acting is outstanding both subbed and dubbed. Brotherhood has 64 episodes available on Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, subbed and dubbed. But Netflix has two series, one called Full Metal Alchemist and the other called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Watch the one that has Brotherhood in it. The non-Brotherhood one isn't bad or anything, but each of them have completely different endings. Brotherhood's ending is the way the creator of the series intended. Full Metal is the pinnacle of beginner anime. There's so much anime out there that you're bound to find one you like eventually. Just like with most things in life, it's trial and error. I usually give a 5-episode rule where if I don't like or can find a reason to keep watching, I drop it. Some of my favorite anime like Dragon Ball I watched weekly, so I was able to build a slow relationship with the series and not suffer from fatigue. It is okay if you don't like any of my suggestions or maybe you've seen all of them already. I just hope you're able to find something useful from this video. Some of my fondest memories involve anime. This has been your main man Savi. Thanks for watching.